Hi, my name is Laura Mai and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about something that has been so integral to me reaching my goals. Like this time last year I was making 3.5K a month. Now I make 12K a month. I also lost 55 pounds over the past few years, and I used to be a behavioral design consultant. So I love science and studies. And when I found out the bullshit that I had been putting myself through, feeling resentment, self-abandoning, all of that, I was like, hell no. And I made an IG short on this too, because I was just like, not only was I not getting the life that I wanted, and would I have continued to not get the life that I wanted if I continued to self-abandon, I would get an autoimmune disorder. Women get autoimmune disorders at a rate of 4-1 to men. And I'll put all this in the comments because I find this some stuff so interesting. And I would love other people to look it up too. But there's a book by Gabor Mate as well. It just talks about how the body keeps score. And I used to be like the queen of doing things just to like prove that I wasn't selfish and prove myself in general. Like I felt like I had to do in order to be good enough. And you know, I still feel that way sometimes. Like I don't know if the feeling goes away. It's just my reaction to it changes. And I really try to notice the resentment that I have in myself when I'm doing certain things. And something that I'm really trying so hard to do is to not question myself so much of like why I feel resentment or if I'm bad for feeling a certain way, just to notice it. So someone that I follow on here a lot is Farine Ash. So I'm actually working with her as well. She's been really great, but she has an app that I've been using at the moment. Like I've also done private coaching with her, so she's awesome. And I share that just to be like, I am like so not the expert when it comes to relationships and knowing myself. I'm 27, right? Like the one thing that I am, I'm like, invest in yourself. Like I feel like for a 27-year-old, I'm doing pretty good. I know I'm not like the millionaire. I'm not like, oh, I have XYZ. Like I could buy myself designer handbags. I could buy myself a house, right? But I haven't yet. So I'm really proud of that. Like I'm proud of how far I've come given what a shithole I was in last year. So I'm not an expert, but I love investing in myself and talking to these people who are experts, investing in them and like taking what they teach me and then giving it to you guys, right? Like it's not going to be the same experience as you invest in yourself. Like hell no way. Like I'm saying like so much, I'm literally like Kenzie from Love Island. If you love Island, shout out to you because we're besties. But with Farine, like I invest a lot into her, and that therefore makes me take myself more seriously. But I love to talk about what I'm learning on here because she is like $300 a call, and her private coaching, she told me it's like 6 figures. So that's out of reach for some people. But her app was like $200 something for the year. I think it might still be on sale, but I've had a good experience with it so far. She's tough to private coach with. So the app is like something that I found pretty gentle, pretty good. But yeah, I'll update my experience on that further. But something that I caught myself doing this week was self-abandoning. And I even told my mom and my dad about this, and they were like, oh, you should have just done that. Like that was not a big deal. But it's in the small moments where we can practice, you know, being there for ourselves that help us work up to the bigger moments. Like there doesn't have to be this threshold where I'm only going to respect my feelings. I'm only going to respect my resentment up to this threshold, right? Like we can honor that in smaller ways. And in fact, I found when I honor these things in smaller ways and don't label myself as petty, don't label myself as bad, I become more aligned and less resentful myself. And I just have more energy to give. Like I feel more pure. I feel lighter. Farine says I'm still emotionally unavailable, but that's okay. I'm working on it. Again, I'm 27. Please don't take all of my advice. Just take my advice if you want to get to where I am now. I'm never going to give you advice at this point in my life about how to make $1 million because I haven't done it yet. Like the companies that I work for are within like $3 to $10 million, but I like to focus on my own journey and my own income just because of the soul process that's gone through that and the amount of emotional regulation and emotional work has gone through. And it's so crazy how much work I feel like I still have to go. But hey, there's help out there. Like I don't want to be discouraging. Like it's just always, it reminds you that you're never going to be perfect and that this whole life is like to experience suffering and pain in order to grow more and more, and that your work is never going to be done. And if it was done, then you would probably be so bored. So there's always ways for us to be grown and challenged through God, which is honestly a beautiful thing. And a really big thing, like I said, that I have to be challenged with at the moment Because listen, I grew up Asian mom, right? Love my mom. She's like the best mom. Like, shout out to mom. Like, I send her that all the time because I could not have gotten luckier with my mom. Her and my dad, actually. My dad's not even Asian. He's white. But like, he was really, really hard on me growing up. And I probably was better for it in a lot of ways. Like, I was a straight A student, all that sort of stuff, but I was still adventurous, you know. They still let me do my own thing and be creative and be curious and all of that. But I did, like, somewhere along the way pick up that, like, doing and being good was, like, how I was going to get love. And I've just been someone who was insecure. Like, all throughout high school, I was pretty insecure. I had pretty low self-worth, like, even going into my marriage, pretty bad. Like, it's only kind of through my marriage that I've had enough pain and enough, like, mirroring from my partner to be able to start to overcome those things. But me isolated outside of a relationship, even with work, which I've always taken very seriously, I could not understand why I wasn't getting the things that I wanted, despite, and this is a big one, despite allowing people to overpromise me things and just not deliver. And I mean this in terms of, like, unpaid wages. I would go without being paid way too long with my initial clients. I would also, you know, I picked a field where you make a little bit less in the beginning, which is fine, but I didn't advocate for myself at the start of my business. You know, like, when I started my marketing stuff, like I said, I would let those non-payments go on too long, and then it kind of put me in a position where I expected someone to save me, and so then I loaned someone $20,000 where their business idea wasn't fully validated. Like, yes, we did have contracts, but no, they did not pay me back. I had to pay all that back myself. Like, I'm debt-free as of, like, last week from that whole nightmare. And you might be, like, hearing that, like, obviously I wouldn't do that, like, blah, blah, blah. Wait till you're there. Wait till you're there trying to grow a business and you've labeled yourself your whole life as a high performer, a good person, a good girl, all that sort of stuff. This is where your insecurities are shown. This is where your self-abandonment shows. You do not know yourself until you do something that's really hard. Anything that's just given to you, that's wonderful. Like, but that's not where your hard work is. It's only when you meet the resistance that you really figure out where your shit is. And so some of you might have come out of the womb making 12 grand a month. I love that for you. Someone was set up financially very well. For me, it was very hard for me to get here. And both my parents as well, they're not doing bad. My dad makes about what I make now, and he's made that through, like, most of his career. And my mom is doing very well as well. And she's just amazing at savings and just taught me so much about financial literacy, just not even actually teaching me, but just through action and through modeling and through setting stuff up. But even with them, they're very two different models. Like, my dad's not as good with finances. My mom is very good with finances, but they're both not on the path that I wanted to be on. Like, my mom is actually pretty entrepreneurial, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But at this point in her life, she's not. But all of their stuff that they had, I inherited, right? Not like their physical stuff. Like, I'm an only child, so that I will inherit. But I'm talking about, like, their personality traits. Like, I was literally talking to my dad about this morning because I was telling him about this situation that happened, like the one that he was like, oh, you should have just gotten over it. And he was like, oh, do I ever overgive? And I was like, yes, all the time. He was like, oh, rarely. I was like, no, you overgive all the time. You're so stressed out because you always overgive. And he was like, yeah. And my mom is kind of the same way. And so watching both of them, because I mostly grew up with my dad, actually, not really my mom, but they were both, like, my models, right? Is my dog gonna pee? Lady, come here. Come here. Come here. But they both were my models. And so all the stuff that they did around, like, people pleasing and not having boundaries, it was a very different time. You know, you can't blame them. You can't blame your parents. Like, I think they were both amazing, amazing parents. But how do I unlearn that self-abandonment now? Because one of the hardest things for me in unlearning self-abandonment was just learning how to process my own emotions. And so now that I've told you kind of, like, why you shouldn't self-abandon and kind of what the journey's been like for me, like, the actual process of me not self-abandoning in real time it's really helped with this app because I get immediate feedback, right? And it kind of guides me through feeling my emotions and self-soothing. But I find that the more I don't self-abandon, just the less resentful I am in general, and the less negative emotions within me there actually are to deal with. So being able to not do those things has been a lot easier than having to sit with the emotion of doing them, right? Like, I don't think that emotionally regulated people are really dealing, I think they deal with the same emotions, like, now that I've gone through this journey, but they're probably not as severe because they begin to know where they end and where they begin and where they should say no, because that emotion is too much for them to carry. And in the process of them carrying that emotion, they're in turn going to long term affect like themselves, and short term affect the people around them and the life that they want. If this makes sense to you, we're kindred spirits. Like, I'm really getting my camera set up fixed, guys. Like, I promised myself that I would make 6 videos, long form videos a week for the next 12 weeks as part of my 12-week year. This is literally how I got out of debt and made $12K a month. Like, and I'm gonna come out with a course on that too. So let me know if you're interested in getting on the wait list for that, because that's the whole point of me making these videos, because I want to help people who are like a few steps behind me. But if you're interested, I can't talk. If you're interested in that, like, definitely comment and let me know. I'll respond to you, obviously, and I'll send you the link to my stuff so that way you can be on my email list. But oh my god, lady's rolling over. But I'm gonna get a new camera. I know that this camera quality is not the best, and I'm not even using my mics today. Like, I'm literally just keeping my promise to myself, even though it's not perfect. I'm like, I want to get my 6 videos a week, and it doesn't actually have to be 6. It's like 4 to 6. You just want to get over 70% or something for the week. That's my goal. But yeah, I'm trying to make the videos better for you guys, so that way you feel like you're watching something a little bit higher quality. I have my other camera, but it's a pain to get out. Okay, I'm definitely on my tangent about the camera now, and we're not even talking about self-abandoning. So I guess we're done here today. Love you guys. I will see you next time.